Long before social media, selfies, or filters, people were already fascinated by themselves, sometimes by the face they saw reflected in water, sometimes by the work of their own hands. The magic of self-admiration has always existed, but for some that spell was never broken. Today we call it narcissism, an exaggerated sense of one's own value or importance. But it's not just about loving yourself. Narcissism touches one of the most fragile parts of the human mind, our sense of self-worth. A narcissist often thinks, I'm special, I'm different, no one really understands me. But beneath that thought, another voice quietly asks, what if I'm not that special after all? In psychology, we talk about two main types of narcissism, grandiose and vulnerable. Grandiose narcissists appear incredibly confident. They crave attention, power, and admiration. They can be charming, magnetic, even inspiring. But they absolutely crumble under criticism, as if their entire world collapses the moment their self-image is questioned. On the other hand, vulnerable narcissists are much quieter, yet deep down they crave the same admiration. They feel easily threatened, insecure, or unworthy, and to hide it, they exaggerate their own importance. In both forms, there's a common theme, a fragile sense of self. From the outside, they seem to be in love with themselves, but in truth, the person they fear most is themselves. So where does narcissism come from? Research shows that both our genes and our environment play a role. Some children are constantly praised, told they're the best, the brightest, the most talented. Others grow up under constant criticism, never feeling good enough. Surprisingly, both of these extremes can lead to the exact same result, a distorted sense of self. Society plays its part, too. In cultures that glorify competition, success, and visibility, narcissism is often rewarded. Being noticed becomes a goal in itself. Likes, followers, status, they all become forms of external validation, little digital pats on the back. And then came social media, a mirror we all find ourselves looking into a little too often. Sometimes it's a selfie, sometimes a post about our success. But here's the problem. The person we see on the screen isn't really us. It's a carefully edited, curated reflection of who we want to be. That's where the dark side of narcissism begins. That reflection can start to replace real human connection. A narcissist doesn't see their partner as a person, but as a mirror, a reflection of themselves. They seek admiration, not love, validation, not honesty. And when that balance breaks, so does the relationship. Narcissistic people can be fascinating at first. They often come across as smart, confident, and full of energy, but over time they leave behind a trail of disappointment, anger, and emotional exhaustion. Sometimes this pattern becomes so strong that it develops into what's known as narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD. Roughly 1% of the population meets this diagnosis, most often in adulthood. And the hardest part? Narcissists rarely believe they have a problem. Can they change? Yes, but it's incredibly difficult. Because the very essence of narcissism is refusing to question the reflection in the mirror and facing your own unfiltered reflection can hurt. Therapy can help, but it takes time. Healing doesn't mean stop loving yourself. It means learning to accept yourself exactly as you are, flaws and all. That requires patience and a level of brutal honesty most of us try to avoid. But this isn't just about personal awareness. It's a collective issue. As a society, we have to ask ourselves, what do we choose to celebrate? Constant success, popularity, and attention? Or do we value empathy, depth, and sincerity? Because narcissism isn't just their problem. It's a small part of all of us. We all enjoy a bit of applause. We all want to be seen. But the real question is, how much of our true selves are we willing to give away for it? True confidence isn't built from applause, but from a quiet inner peace. Loving yourself doesn't mean thinking you're better than others. It means knowing your own worth without having to diminish theirs. Narcissism makes us stare into the water, captivated by our own image. But the real beauty is not in the reflection, it's in having the courage to look away from it and see the world and the people around us. Those who dare to look honestly at themselves slowly dissolve their own narcissism. They no longer love the image they've created, they learn to love the truth of who they are. And that's the simple truth about narcissism. To love yourself is not to stand at the center of the world, it's to see the world more clearly now that you finally know who you are. Thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more content that explores the human mind. See you in the next one.